Hello. Hello out there. It's lovely to be in the literary bunker on the Upper East Side. Welcome. My name's Eddie Perfect, as you just heard. This show is kind of a remarkable experience for me because it represents a lot of firsts in my life. This is my first Broadway show, first Broadway job, first job writing any musical theatre outside of my home country, Australia. First time making a Broadway cast recording, and so it's been an extraordinary thing to watch the growing success of the album. And the other first that was very exciting for me was to receive the vinyl of the album, because when I was a little kid, probably like you guys, maybe you guys are a bit younger than me, but when I was a little kid, my dad's record collection, all vinyl, I remember pulling out things like Fiddler on the Roof and Jesus Christ Superstar and putting them on the record player and hearing musical theatre and entering into that kind of world for the first time. And so to be able to have the physical vinyl thing, I mean, there's just a moment of personal nostalgia for me as I got it in my hands, and the first thing I thought was, I need to get back to Melbourne and stick it in my dad's record collection. So that's what I'm going to do over Christmas. It's very exciting. So I'm so thrilled that you all are here, like having an audience for this show. We're acutely aware of the kind of creativity that the show has inspired, and it inspires us. The Winter Garden is full of amazing artwork, all of the animatics that are on YouTube, all the people singing covers of the songs. Yes, I watch each and every one of them, so I probably know your faces if you put a video up. So today is really about celebrating the fact that this album exists, celebrating the fact that you guys have been so supportive of us and that we really appreciate it, and giving something back, a little intimate concert. So I'm very excited to be sort of officiating this. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of like inside tea on some of the songs you're going to hear today.
Inside tea goes.
So the first thing you're going to hear is actually the last song I wrote for Beetlejuice. So we got to the last rehearsal in the room at New 42 on 42nd Street, and we did a run of the show, and we had a completely different song in the show. But for boring kind of structural pacing reasons, I felt like I needed something a little bit more up-tempo, and I was kind of running away to a spare room and writing this song, and I demoed it up, and then I had to kind of slowly convince people one by one that it was a good idea, and the scariest person to convince was Kerry Butler, because when you're in tech and you go up to an actor and you go, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? They're like, shit, no, you're gonna cut my song. So he said, Kerry, can we talk to you for a minute? She's like, oh, god damn it. And just like that, she swears a lot, Kerry Butler. And so we dragged her up into the cutting room foyer and played her this song. You know, fair to say, she probably wasn't entirely convinced of its merits, but like an absolute gun that she is, worked it into the show in tech and put it in the show, and that song was Barbara 2.0. Now, a lot of people, well, I think we did like a version of it and went online, and somebody called it Maitland's 2.0, and then, of course, when the album came out, it's called Barbara 2.0, and everyone was like, why isn't it called Maitland's 2.0? They got it wrong, they got it wrong. It's not wrong, the song is Barbara 2.0. And that's mostly because I'm terrified of Kerry Butler, and I wanted to have her character's name on it. Sometimes that's important. So, it's going to feature Kerry Butler, obviously, this song. And another great coup for our show is that we have an incredible Broadway star in David Josefsberg, who's come on board. So now, in a little intimate performance for you guys, I'd like to welcome up to the stage Kerry Butler, David Josefsberg for Barbara 2.0.
Stuff. God, it's depressing.
You don't like this stuff, Barbara? This is our stuff.
Shrine to the feelings we've been repressing.
I mean, maybe we should just go.
Unfinished projects, meaningless objects, plans I abandoned or quit. It's the stuff of our lives, and all of it's shit.
What? But Barbara?
Books on computers, a sticker on your armpit.
Okay, that was not as much fun as I thought it would be.
Homebrew kombucha that tasted like armpit.
We are not kombucha people, but we did find that out.
Tear it and trash it, burn it or smash it. We had to adapt to survive. We can be fighters with fire inside us. We're born with detritus. We're finally alive. The fire are you married? She's dead and buried. 6 feet below. Whoa, 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 whoa. The fire on the doormat. She's coming back in our format. Time to let go. Say hello to Farmer 2.0.
Barbara, you're right. I think I've been hiding.
I was too. I don't even like pottery.
Stuck out of sight, right by unused aluminum
We
siding.
are not aluminum-sided people.
Tragic and static, trapped in this attic. Now Adam is shedding his skin. No more excuses, we're no longer useless. We got nothing to lose, we can finally begin. The new Adam is winder, the old one fertilizer. I'm gonna let go. Say hello.
I'm tired of doors, together or more. We could just walk, but we've done that before. What we cannot ignore is Lydia needs
That must be
us.
the reason she sees us.
Adam, I want to stay. She needs people who won't run away. Friends who don't stop at problems or obstacles. Not a house, but a home. We're ready, set, let's go.
Two fun facts. One is I love the word aluminum. In Australia we say aluminium, but in America you're all very busy. It's aluminum. And it was fun to put that in a song. The other fun fact is when we first rehearsed that song in the foyer again at the Winter Garden, it was Chris Kukul, who is our musical director in our arrangements, and myself. And we were going to work out the harmonies for the end, and we're like, what do you reckon, Kerry? Could you go up to that top G? And she was like, yeah. It melted our faces off, and it's stayed ever since, every single night, 8 shows a week. That's the top G, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Now, of course, one of the, the next song we're doing, Say My Name? Yes, okay. Say My Name, right? Alright. What can I tell you about Say My Name? Okay, I nearly cut it about 1 billion times. I was like, fuck, this song is not working. It's like a Frankenstein's monster with so many bits. In the original demo, there was like a weird rap battle between Beetlejuice and Lydia. It was just like, I didn't know how to end it. It was just like, I'm just adding, and then this happens, and then a lot has to kind of happen in the journey of that song. And I fell right out of love with it, and it was the book writers, Scott and Anthony, who were like, no, you have to keep the song. And it's ended up being like one of the most popular songs in the show, because it's the first time we get to see the dynamic between Beetlejuice and Lydia, and it's a fun dynamic because there's a power shift all over the place. And we were really fortunate very early on to find our Beetlejuice in Alex Brightman. I'm not going to lie, there were moments in the development of this show when the show was like kind of a lot darker. And the great thing about working with Alex Brightman is he's absolutely fearless. We'll try anything in rehearsal, no matter how dark or sinister or disgustingly, offensively wrong. And so we had a brilliant time building this show with Alex. And Alex is like an incredibly funny, but also driven, disciplined person to have in the room. And so it's been, just to be like a little bit nostalgic and sentimental, one of the great honours, creative honours, to work with someone like Alex Brightman, who is not only an incredible driving creative force on stage, but off stage. You know, the way he spends 2 hours of his time after every single show meeting fans, talking to people, advocating for our show. It's been a wonderful thing to watch, so thank you, Mr. Brightman. And our youngest company member is with us tonight, the wonderful Presley. When all of the old dudes that run this show were like, what's TikTok? She was like, this is TikTok, and she is very responsible for driving Beetlejuice's presence on that platform in a really fun and positive way. She's an incredible company member, and so now to perform Say My Name, will you please welcome Presley Ryan and Mr. Alex Brightman.
You could use a buddy. Don't you want a pal? Yes I do, yes I do. Girl, the way I see it, your daddy should be leaving and you should stick around and kill him.
What?
Nothing. So an idiot, don't end yourself, defend yourself. Daddy is the one you should name. Together we'll exterminate, assassinate.
No.
The finer points can wait, but first you gotta say my name.
But I don't know your name.
Well, I can't say it.
How about a game of charades?
Yes, let's play it.
2 words.
Okay.
Second word.
Right.
Drink.
No.
Beverage.
No.
Wine.
No.
Juice.
Yes.
Okay, first word.
Okay.
Bug.
No.
Ant.
Close but no.
Beetle.
Yes.
Beetlejuice.
Wow, I'm impressed. And all you gotta do is say my name 3 times. 3 times in a row. It must be spoken unbroken. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Yes.
Beetlejuice.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa. This is gonna be so good.
Guys,
What?
you're so smart. Stand up, bro. I'll think about your offer. Let you know that I throw my chances down below. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Man, I'm easy mark. I'm with prawns. I don't need a shark. Yes, my son, not that much. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, be a doll and spare the nation.
Offering you a full-time specter.
Are you any good?
You betcha. Trust me, baby.
I just think I'm really never gonna bring over.
Don't you wanna see Dad suffer?
I'd rather just fuck
No.
than make you feel inside of feelings. Guys, I lost my mind.
I'm gonna make you say my name.
I'll make you say your name.
Say my
I'll
name.
make you say your
I'll make
name.
you say my
Say your
name.
name.
You can't run away. I'll make you say my name.
I'll make you say your name.
I'll make you say my
I'll
name.
make you say your name.
I'll make you say my
I'll
name.
make you say your name.
You can't run away. I'll make you say my name.
Yeah, okay. Segway kick. Say my name, geez, that was a weird one. Alright, okay, so one of the things that, a lot of things changed. Anyone see the show in Washington, D.C.? Like 2 people? Yeah. So in Washington, D.C. there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that got cut. There was a pink penis that got cut, particularly
Oh my god.
sad about. But one thing that was kind of hard to do at the end was to really kind of finish off the story. We always knew we wanted to end with Shake Senora. It's such an iconic moment from the feature film. Where you've got Lydia rising up and she's singing, and we wanted to really get the sense that she'd landed, that she was home, that she was, you know, this kind of unconventional family around her. She was going to be okay, and it was sort of suggested, but it wasn't really explicit. And it's a weird thing when you write a musical and there are pre-existing songs in it. You feel like, okay, well they're not mine. I don't want to interfere with them. I don't want to touch them. But I knew that I had to kind of like get inside Shake Senora a little bit, and so we kind of mashed it up with a reprise of Dead Mom, and it really helped us kind of tell the story at the end. Now, normally Adam Danheiser, who plays Charles, would be here right now, but he has a personal emergency. Something's gone wrong down here. He's not here, so I can say what I like about it. Great guy. Great American. And yes, he's in New Jersey with going on. And so he can't be here. So I'm going to stand in and be him. And it's like, yeah. I don't know if you've ever had that nightmare where you're like on stage and you have done none of the rehearsals and everyone's dancing, you don't know what you're doing, and you're just kind of like, that's going to be me. Okay? So we're going to do this right now, and afterwards you'll hear from Steve again, and then we're going to get to the signy bit. So this is the closing number from Beetlejuice. It's a jump in the line, Shake Senora, and to perform it, will you please welcome the person we haven't introduced yet. I'm going to say something nice about her because she will kill me if I know. I have never met anyone quite like Leslie Kritzer. You don't know. Like you have no idea. In rehearsal, this is a Leslie Kritzer story. Okay, so we finished DC. We were like the Netherworld thing. We had a boy band singing. Everything is kind of meh, and it's fair to say that 50% of the audience loved it, and 50% of the audience just fucking hated it, right? They're like, why is this happening? And so it's hard to know what to do with a song that people have mixed feelings about. So I was like, I think we should cut it. I think we should celebrate one of the Netherworld characters, and the character that my wife and I loved the most was Miss Argentina. And so we wrote this number, and then Leslie Kritzer was like, I'll do it. And we're like, that's great, Leslie, but you've already kind of got a major role in the musical. She's like, I'm on stage, this is a seance, I just freaking get off, I'll go get dressed, I'll come back and I'll do the song. And we were like, okay. And so, first experience where someone just like said, I'm doing this. And she got her own way and did it. And we've been eternally grateful ever since, because from the very first run through, we were wearing a t-shirt, and it was this very terrifying moment where the opening was like, she just went and pulled her t-shirt down. It was a brief moment where I was like, is it going to be anything underneath this? Thankfully there was a sports bra, and she did the whole song in her sports bra, and it was a good time. It was a good time. And so we're like, I think Leslie Kritzer's got the job. I think she's got the job. Yes, so I'm very excited that she's here, and I love her. Anyone that meets her loves her, and I'm so grateful that she's in the show, and I'm so grateful that she gets to perform for you now. So will you please welcome on stage, first of all, Leslie Kritzer. Get your mic, love. And also, will you please welcome to the stage, back to the stage, Presley Ryan, Kerry Butler, Mr. David Josefsberg. You in the light?
There we go.
I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
I got this, guys.
What?
Shake, 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 Senora, shake your body right. Shake, 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 Senora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Senora, work your body right. Work, 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 Senora, work it all the time.
My girl's name is Senora.
And when she dances, oh brother,
She's a hurricane in all kinds of ways.